Hi, my name is Tahir from Smart Modeling Solutions. Today we are going to build a bullet graph. A bullet graph is a kind of bar graph, but provide much more information and kind of replace meters and gauges. So what we have in bullet graph is one primary measure, let's say revenue. In our case, this is the actual value of revenue. And we compare this primary value with some other measures, compare it with some range, qualitative range of performance. For instance, we have here poor, fair, and good and excellent. So we see whether we reach where our actual value lies, in which range. And besides that, we have another measure is our target. Here target we see with a red line here that shows, this graph shows how good we reach our target, how far from it, or whether we reach it or whether we above this target. So it's very informative and graph that's widely used. And today we are going to build it. This question comes from Rich Lopez from Quantrix Authority. He asked me whether it's possible to build this bullet graph in Quantrix. And by the way, he has a great YouTube channel, a great source for learning for anyone who is interested in Quantrix. Check it out. And let's go. All right, first let's populate our data. So let's first start with the range. Let's say we have excellent, we have good, fair, poor, and we have our actual value and our target. So let's say excellent is 100%. First, let's change the data type. Good is 90%, fair 77, poor 55, and actual value should be 75, and our target was 80%. So we have our data ready. Now we are going to create our graph. So first of all, let's use combination chart. So we're gonna change the legend items and x-axis items. Now we have our range here. The next step would be to change cluster spacing and bar spacing. So we will put it 0 here and minus 100% here. So now they are all together. The next step would be to show the actual value and target on the another axis. So let's select actual value. Our actual value is going to be a stacked area type of graph, and we will do it black, and we will use a second axis, right, 1. Right, so it's ready. So we will do the same thing for target, but we will use for target a line type. So we can leave it no color for the legend items, but for line we will use a red one. And we can use more thickness so that it's easy to see on the graph. Now it looks kind of strange because we have a kind of triangle here, but we are going to do a little trick to make it look like a real ballot chart. So we are going to see our data here, matrix 1, and with one trick we are going to achieve the form of ballot. So let's do it. So what we do, we just add a new item and say value of this item equal to the previous item. So basically we duplicate the values. Now you see that we have kind of we see already some form of our graph. We see the actual value, but we don't see the target. So that to see that, we are going to fix minimum and maximum value for our axis. So we are going to go to chart axis and say minimum is 0. And actually we don't need this axis to show on the graph, so we can make it white, and the same thing we are going to do for another axis. So we're gonna say 1.1 and 0. All right, now we have our graph ready, and we don't need this part as well. So not this axis, so we don't need it. So let's also change the color of range. So excellent, we can find more light gray, and good is going to be a bit dark gray, and so fair darker, and poor is the darkest. Let's say something like that. So we can, if we wish, we can little bit increase the thickness of target so that it's clearly visible on the screen, and we can a little bit change this axis as well so that it looks better. So let's say we can have a proper spacing, so we don't need this line to be seen. Maybe we can change a little bit the color, and that's it. I would make a little bit more thicker the target so that it is clearly visible that our target, so it's better like that. Now we have all information what we need for our ballot graph, and we see that what is our target and what was the actual value, and how the value, our actual value, positioned in this, between this range. So nice thing about Quantrix, you can change also the whether you want to show it horizontal or vertical with one click. So for instance, if you go and say I like to show series label on the y-axis, so you change it, and so you have that on kind of horizontal scale, or back, whatever is works for you the best. Okay, now we can add a title, but before adding title, maybe you have more values to show. So as you know, in Quantrix you can show more graphs next to each other, so you can show more KPIs and on the one kind of grid of chart. So that to do that, we can add a new category, and let's say that would be our KPIs, and let's say that is revenue, and we have also, let's say, profit. We can use some data for our profit. This is the same, but maybe we can change it a little bit. And if we show that, now our graph is there. So we have revenue, profit, and then we can add a title to our graph so that we can have it on with using expression. So let's write, we use curly brackets, at, and our category called KPIs. Close curly bracket and enter. So we have revenue, profit. We can hide column header. So you can add more KPIs and it will be shown on your bullet graph. And also, you can also show each KPI separately if you put it in the filter area, revenue or profit. And now our bullet graph is ready. Even though there is no built-in bullet graph in Quantrix, still we found we find some workaround to visualize, to create this bullet graph, and I hope you will find it useful within your organization if you like to visualize your KPI, to track your performance, compare with your target, and how good is, for instance, your organization or division of your organization performed, let's say last year, last period. If you are new to Quantrix, if you like to try it, contact us to get a trial version of Quantrix, 30-day free version, or if you need any help with Quantrix, building the models, you can contact us. Smart Modeling Solution is official authorized partner of Quantrix in Europe, Russia, Turkey, and will be happy to help you. If you're interested to learn more, please subscribe to our channel and have a nice time. Happy modeling with Quantrix.